Farscape Engineers, Inspector Review, Inspector Manessas here. We're here at the Buy-In Theater in Pittsburgh. We're looking at this Farscape that might have some possibility of being repaired and or being replaced. It is at that point. What we have here is all original hardware still on this Farscape, square head bolts in or rivets, and some of these should be flipped out to new galvanized railing, and or if you're going to work with the existing, the EPA issue is going to be a problem. Older than 1978, so it's probably going to have lead, so EPA guidelines are going to be going to apply. But we have a lot of severe rot back at the connections. So what we have here is I-beams into the wall. This corner's all rotted out. There's been some sistering already going on here. All these connections into the wall need to be repacked, but we need to duplicate the connection because even though you're going to repack the original connection, we're still it's going to be difficult to verify. So we want a plate here with probably 3 epoxy bolts on either side to basically make sure it goes 8 to 12 inches deep beyond the original veneer. We've got quite a bit of rust, rivets. That corner down there is all shot. As you can see, it's all rotted out. And we need to make sure that we seal this edge, that there's no water or dirt or anything's going to get in here. But we got a lot of build out. We got to clean all these out, and we have to. And if the steel is compromised here at least more than 25%, then we'll probably have to sister up these plates here once we remove and reinforce if we're going to keep the Farscape. We still got a lot of meat left, and even this I-beam repair, they can do some sistering here to basically keep this thing in some use. Otherwise, we can cut back here and extend. But again, we have an issue with the EPA and the cutting. The treads, all cast. I don't particularly like casts. They tend to snap. These are very old, so I would replace these all with galvanized diamond plate because you can't have see-through grading on these. So I would just replace these with galvanized diamond plate stair replacements here. You got quite a build out of rust that's growing beside this wall. That's why once you get this all sealed up, we got to get all this along the wall sealed so that the water and freeze and thaw doesn't get back in here and keeps tearing this away from the building. The grading here is different than the diamond plate. A lot of times they want it all to be consistent, so we need to find out from the city whether or not they want diamond plate and diamond plate here, or whether they want grading with grading here so that the snow falls through, but because they have a protectant up here, you don't really need it. So they may allow because of the protectant, because of snow, but we got quite a bit of build out here. Now, a lot of these C-channels, if they were trying to buy another 5 years, you can sister up a flat on the inside of these C-channels if you're looking to basically buy some time with this Farscape. But she's probably at the 50+% in as far as corrosion on this Farscape, so it's a close call. This one is, the amount of money you're going to spend is probably going to be 75% to repair this Farscape of the replacement cost. So if you're at 60 to 75%, sometimes it's worth just moving on to a replacement. Make sure that the replacement is a galvanized Farscape and or products that are fire rated. But as you can see, you got a lot of wall repairs. But again, you can get away from these walls by going to the right or to the left of the existing connections and using those to basically back up and reinforce the existing connections into the wall, because they're probably unverifiable at the time. The angles here, there is some rust at different points, but the angles can be reinforced and or replaced. If they're rotted at the very bottom like they are there, then it's time to do the replacement. But original hardware, I'm trying to find any evidence that this Farscape has been maintained, and I have nothing but original square head bolts, original rivets. So this Farscape has most likely just got a paint job most of its life, never got a repair. I can't see any hex head bolts anywhere. We got the clip here that's corrosion. All corrosion must be 100% removed. We got some patchwork here. Basically, again, this patching is just to hold the Farscape from pulling away from the building, but that's an improper patch. Any connections now has to be epoxy bolted back into the wall, and instead of 1, we'd like to use 3, just to make sure that everything is good. And this cantilever, this is going to be a cantilevered system, so that this is in an up position. It has to be, the weight box has to be exactly like this one. It has to be a controlled weight box using cabling, and it must have a release arm so that this cantilever drops 2 to 3 feet per second. When released, hits the ground and stays down, and the weight box controls all of it. This staircase is fairly new. I don't think this is going to be part, but they can make this. We can get a weight box system on this one to lift this one. She is kind of heavy, but it just means that we have to put all the pressure on that wall to carry the weight. These treads are in good condition, so this is just scrape and paint. This is a fairly new fire escape. Really, the only work is back here. Plenty of room for you to use the scissor lift back here to get in and underneath. So, but there is still plenty of meat left on this fire escape, and with a repair and the proper paint job, you probably can get another 10 years out of this fire escape before you'd have to get to the replacement. And if you're religious about painting it every year, you probably get a little bit more than 10 years, but this fire escape still has some life left, with some good sistering, replacement of certain rotted components. But I don't see any rot through on the C channels. It looks like it's still got some life, and even if there was, we could put in a 5-inch flat in there and basically sister these babies up. So there's still some room if they want to basically buy another 5 to 10 years on this one. Otherwise, the cost of replacement is one of the things that needs to be talked about. These staircases are about 4 feet plus wide. 4 feet, 5 feet. And a site visit is required. Any questions, give us a call here at Farscape Engineers. 1-800-649-3333. 1-800-649-3333. Inspect them and assist.